Hello, my peoples, and welcome back. We're here to check up on the family this time. Okay, so we're gonna do a collective family circle reading. What does God want us to know? Okay, so most high, if there's anybody trying to interfere with this reading, please block them so we can receive the messages that you brought us here to receive. Do step in and deliver your messages to we, your children. That's my power prayer. So yes, it is necessary to keep the evil people, them who want to corrupt our teachings, out, and invite the Most High God, the one with all the wisdom and the love, in. Right. So, the weirdo's back. You know. Alright, so family circle reading. What does God want us to know? So, Most High, what do you want us to know in this family circle reading? Let us see. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck, we've got inheritance. So, what is inheritance? Inheritance could be anything. It could be money. It could be ideologies. It could be property. There's something that you get from your family. So let's see if this is good news or bad news. Okay. Alright, so the first card we have to come out is investment. Let's check and see if it's meant to be in the reverse or not. Use more correct like this. Okay, so it's in the reverse. So not investing. We got self-harm, afraid to speak up. That card comes out a lot. Afraid to speak up. Didn't you know that power? There's power in the word. The way we talk to ourselves, the things we choose to believe, those are our words. In the beginning was the word. This is why they talk about spells. These people who invest their time in magic, they know how powerful words are. Words can either make things worse or they can make things better. It's very important that you learn how to use words and gain confidence to use words. And use words. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So what we got going on here? So we have a lack of investment or no investment, self-harm and afraid to speak up. What is that saying? The underlying issue is business and the stubbornness of the elder. We got supernatural abilities, so things could be so much better, but there is prejudice. So what we got here is the elders not giving the youth. Yeah, they need to kill that shit. Funeral, because it's a generational curse. So elders, yeah, it's an illness. You have to listen, my elders. If you have trained your youngers well, if you have trained the children well, you need to have faith in them. If you know, because if you train them well, they're gonna be as successful as you. So you don't need to worry about the choices that they make. First of all, the children, they understand the world of business as it is today more than you do, most likely. Okay, so what worked well for you in the past is definitely not the exact formula that would work well now. So what you need to do is combine your powers, share your wisdom with them, and they can share their wisdom with you, because things have changed greatly. True or false? So because things have changed so much, you need somebody who knows now. You need somebody who understands what is out there now. And remember, business is all about demand and supply. So because the children are more out in the world, they have a better view as to what is needed or what the public wants. And you can throw in your wisdom in there, because sometimes what the public want isn't always the best thing for them. Sometimes you have to throw in what they need, and that's where your wisdom comes in. So you have to combine your powers. You and the grandchildren or the children, you and the youth, you guys need to combine your sensibilities. Okay? So elders, by not investing in the youngers, you're actually causing damage to the business. There needs to be communication, afraid to speak up. So you need to create an environment, my elder. You need to create an environment where the younger ones feel comfortable to come to you and speak openly and freely, because it's very important that you understand how they think and they understand where you're coming from and how you think and why the advice you're giving is actually the best advice. So there need to be that open, mutual respect. When you're expressing yourselves to each other, please do not express yourselves to each other as though one is greater than the other. Each of you have something that the other one needs. You need to combine your powers, your intelligence. That's the only way that you're going to keep running successful family businesses and keep the money within. That's the only way you're gonna keep generational wealth generational. Okay? So, yeah. So yeah, if you know that you've trained the younger ones properly, then you shouldn't be worried about the choices that they're going to make. If you need to ask them, like, why are they making the choices, then do so. But try your best to allow them even to make mistakes, because you've made some mistakes yourself and it's only made you stronger. Yes, it was scary at the time. And yes, if you allow them to make mistakes now, it may be scary, it may be costly, but this is the price that you pay for experience and wisdom and success ultimately. Because once you learn the lessons, that's invaluable information to take with you throughout the rest of your generations. They can pass it on. You see, so I understand you have concerns about putting the business in the hands of the younger ones. But I'll tell you one more time, if you have planted and nurtured their minds well when it comes to the business, you have nothing to worry about. And if you haven't done so, there's no time like the present to start to talk to the youngers and get them up to date and get yourself up to date with exactly how smart are they, how responsible are they. So when you know where they're at in their mind, my elder, you can then come in and fill in the missing blanks for them, thereby making them more efficient in handling the business. So you can rest knowing that the family business is in great hands. Okay? Because these children nowadays days, look what came out after stubbornness of the elder. Supernatural ability. These children nowadays days, they're not, they're a bit wayward, but so was your generation to the generation before you. Every generation thinks the generation that come after them is a little bit more wacko, a little bit less responsible, and we kind of don't like them. It's the truth, right? But the fact of the matter is, growth takes time, and the elders need to speak to the youngers to help them to mature. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that they're not going to make any mistakes. It just means that at least they have somebody to talk to them, to open their eyes to the fact that they need to open their eyes. You understand what I'm saying? Talk to them and let them know. Sometimes life don't work out how you plan. Talk to them and let them know the facts of life, so that when they run into challenges, they won't panic. Because when you panic, you can't think clearly. Okay? So know that at this stage of your life, you're in the position that your elders were in, my elder. And this is how your elders felt when they were trying to deal with you. So now, are you going to handle it the way that your elders handled you, or are you going to make the necessary changes and break that generational curse and handle these young ones the way that you wish you were being handled? It's a matter of choice. To be or not to be, that is the question. It's a simple choice that you need to make here. So yeah, so the family business is on the line, and you're afraid to invest your trust, your faith in the younger ones. That is what God wants to talk to us about at this time. Another point that I need to make as it pertains to handing over family businesses to younger generations is this: the fact that somebody is born of your lineage, it doesn't mean that they're gonna have the same interest or desires as you, or the same drive or the same passion as you in whatever family business you've established. Okay, so let's look at somebody who is the head of a company. You made a company, and it's good. It's a good business, and you can see the long-term prospects are telling you, yeah, if this is managed well, this will, take care of the family financially for generations to come. Okay, fine. You have children. Let's say you have 4 children. Let's say the business is let's say you make toothpaste. You're the head of a toothpaste company. It's a family business, right? You got 4 children, and none of these children have an interest to actually take over the company when you are no longer able, for whatever reason, to do so. What I find a lot of elders do is they argue with the younger generation, and they fight the younger generation, and they try to force the younger generation. Why? Because you, the elder, know that this is a necessity. This being the longevity of the business is a necessity, because this is how you manage to buy them the nice cars and take care of the house, buy them houses, pay for their weddings and their holidays, their tuition, college fees, all these things. This is how you manage to do it. So you're thinking, well, one of them is going to come and take over the business when you're no longer able to do it. The only thing is, none of them are interested. And you try to force them, and that only drive your relationship further and further apart. Okay? I think that it's about time that elders come to the understanding that that is not the right approach to a situation like that. Now, I'm not going to profess to know everything, but I have an idea as to what a better approach would be. Okay? So, you've been running this company. You got the people at the top, and you know the hierarchy comes down, right? You have people in the company, they're there working with you for years because they understand the business, they have an interest in the business, and they want to be there. They're not being forced to be there, they want to be there. So you see, if you were to put anybody in the position, whether it's through your will or if you get sick, if you need somebody to be at the head of the operation, you know the people within your organization who are capable of effectively running the operation. And if something should happen to them, they know the person who comes after them who would be willing to do that as well. Now, here's what you do. If you're unable to run the business, instead of trying to force your children to go to the office, you need to hand over controls to the person who is second in command there, the person who wants to be there already. Now, let's say this is in your will. You want the business to continue generationally, and if you put somebody there who don't want to be there, they're not gonna put in the kind of effort that is necessary to keep the establishment running, no matter what establishment it is. If they're not interested in it, they're not interested. You could be the head of a fashion company, you could be the head of the music industry, you could be the head of the movie industry, you could be the head of a chain of malls, a chain of McDonald's, whatever business it is. If your child don't want to be there, if none of them want to be there, and you force them to go there and you manage to get them to go there, they're not going to put in the kind of effort necessary for the effective running of the business. You understand? So if you already have somebody there who is interested in this, I think that you should write them into the will, okay? And then you make sure that the money go to the children, because that's what you want. You want your children to get the money, but you want the business to be taken care of. But the person that you're leaving in charge of the business operationally is the one who want to be there, but the finances go to your children. And also, you need to make sure that this person who is willing to step up is being catered to well in your will as well. You understand what I'm saying? So that way everybody wins. Because you may have a passion for this aspect of business when the children that came out of your lineage, they have talents in other fields. They're not going to want to give up their passion to go do something that they see as boring. Okay? Because that's the type of shit that make people just want to go. You know what I'm saying? After a while, it becomes too much. They're unhappy. So that's just a surface idea of how to manage a situation like that when it comes to inheritance. Instead of forcing your children to be there, get the person who want to be there to be there. Write them into your will, because they're helping to carry on your generational wealth. You understand what I'm saying? Now, it will be in your children's best interest to make sure that this person isn't trying to take over the company altogether. So if they want to be completely distant from the business and not keep an eye on their affairs, because it's still your children's affairs, it's just that they don't have to be there. You see what I'm saying? Mommy and daddy left a lucrative business, and yes, we're getting money for it, but they need to know that they need to keep an eye on the people who are there and make sure that they're trusted. So although they don't need to be there all the time, you need to check in. It's your business still. You understand? It's the family business still, so the family needs to check in. You just don't need to be there to operate, because it's not your interest. You got other interests. So, try and work along those lines, so that way your children, the relationship that you have with your children could be preserved, at least from that aspect. If you fall out, it might be because of who they want to marry and shit like that. But when God called me to do a reading on that, we're going to talk about that too. Because we're here to preserve families, not dissolve families. You understand what I'm saying? We want, when Christmas time comes, is actually happy faces around the table, and Thanksgiving and birthday parties and weddings and anniversaries. We want happy families. We want people to be happy to see each other. That's the kind of society that we're trying to build over here on this channel. So we need to find solutions that are going to help us to make these things a reality. So I hope that the information that was revealed here was actually helpful to you. But just know that if you brought up these children right, and they're interested in whatever you're doing when it comes to the family business, you don't need to worry about what they can do. Let them amaze you. The most you need to do is talk to them. Let them run their ideas by you before they make their moves, just so you can be sure that they're on the right track. And you're there as a professional consultant, because you've been in the business for much longer than they have. So if you see like they missed a little, because risk assessments and all these things need to take place. If you see like they missed a little spot and you see where they could possibly run into problems, then talk to them. And the two of you can have conversations like respectable adults, rather than be fighting or having that animosity, that heaviness between you. You understand what I'm saying? And then when it's time to go celebrate, you guys go out and you celebrate together. Genuine happiness. Everybody is happy. They feel like a man or a woman because you have confidence in them. And you feel comforting or comforted knowing that your boy or your girl is running the operation. Nice. You see what I'm saying? Life is what we make it. There needs to be a certain amount of give and take. We've been getting these things wrong for way too long. So if we want to get them right, we have to make different decisions to what those before us were making. So we just need to find the right formula that's working for these times. And when it comes to these times, the youth know these times. So combine your wisdom. You know, just talk to each other. Don't argue with each other. Don't try and force your opinions upon each other. Reason with each other. Don't just make a command. Show the reason why it's important to do so and so. So now you become teacher. Because even when you're raising little kids, the way I raise my child and I realize it work is I don't just tell her not to do something or to do something. If I see that she has a problem with what I asked her to do, then I give her the reason why. And that, like magic, it works because she understands. You see, nobody like to feel controlled or belittled or manipulated. People want to feel respected, you know? They want to stand in their authority as a human being. Not because I'm your child you want to talk to me any old how. You know what I'm saying? I know it's common practice for us to do that, but we need to stop that because it's not working well for us. It hasn't been working well for us for too long. You want your children to be happy and you want to be happy. So you have to pave the way to make that your reality. Okay? And that's all we have for you. So I hope that the information here was very helpful. And I wish you the success. All the success in the world. Until next time. Bye bye.